The Combustion Institute is a unique institution. Based on its regional and national sections on all continents, it connects combustion researchers into a dynamic global community. It promotes scientific exchange through our biennial international symposia, the regional combustion meetings, and our flagship journals. The Combustion Institute provides unparalleled support for young scientists, including scholarships to attend our symposia and conferences, and the organization of summer schools to pass on knowledge to the next generation of scientists. As a combustion researcher, I see it as our responsibility to develop solutions for the transformation of our energy systems. Combustion systems will continue to play a key role in power generation in the transport and heating sector. However, they must be based on non-fossil chemical energy carriers and must become truly sustainable. To realize these sustainable combustion systems as quickly as possible, we need a sound scientific understanding. Developing this for the benefit of all is part of the mission of the Combustion Institute.
I've been involved in combustion research and development related to power generation for many years. As you all know, reducing CO2 emission is an urgent task. Therefore, acceleration of various technological development for decarbonization is required, especially in the power generation field with much CO2 generation. The use of hydrogen and ammonia as fuel is highly expected as one of the trumps of CO2 reduction. For this reason, industry-academia collaboration is essential. I hope that the Combustion Institute will continue to develop as a bridge between industry and academia.
What I like most about Combustion Institute is the International Symposium. Meeting every 2 years international colleagues is a real pleasure. I love the welcome reception. In addition, of my thrilling experience as program co-chair of the Warsaw meeting, I have a lot of lovely memories. The fireworks in Chicago, the Great Wall in Beijing, the Irish dance spectacle in Dublin, the Chambord Castle in Orléans, or dancing on the boat in San Francisco, and so many more.
The science generated here over the last 70 years has led to a host of combustion technologies underpinning most of the world's power production, from electricity for a vast array of industries to ground and air transportation and more. With impressive improvements in efficiency and reductions in pollutants such as NOx and smoke. The Institute has also become a global forum, enabling the collaboration needed for further advances. I'm also pleased to see our strides in diversity. It's important for all societies to hear everyone's view and to benefit from everyone's contributions. We don't know where the next great idea will come from. On a personal note, I owe a debt of gratitude to prior generations of the Institute who nurtured me from my earliest days in academia throughout my professional career. And so I encourage early career participants to take full advantage. Don't be shy, be curious. Make it your mission this week to meet at least 20 people you didn't already know. Get active in your own section. Why? The networks and recognition you establish will lead to further collaboration and opportunities to grow your personal brand. Your horizons will expand, your career will accelerate, and you'll have a lot of fun. So what about the next 70 years? The world faces many challenges with energy and climate change at the forefront. Decarbonization is the mot du jour, but much work remains to be done to find globally scalable solutions. I'm confident that the Combustion Institute, that's you, will lead the way.
My history with the Combustion Institute spans 40 years, since my first symposium in Ann Arbor, 1984. Since then, I have only missed 2 symposia for family reasons. Highlights were my 50-year anniversary lecture in Chicago 2004, the gold medal in Dublin 2018, and my online hotel lecture for Adelaide in 2021. I have served the Combustion Institute for more than 20 years, in the board of directors, as president-elect and president, as the first European and first woman in this role. During my leadership, we have introduced the summer school program, online elections, new awards, new journal contracts, the Women in Combustion initiative, and further measures to adapt the Combustion Institute to its multinational role and to encourage young researchers to participate. My own combustion research has used diagnostics with lasers and mass spectrometers to unravel the chemical reactions that drive the combustion process from the fuel to the emissions. It has been a privilege to collaborate with more than 30 groups and to mentor more than 100 young scientists. Collaboration is highly important in the face of today's challenges in all sectors, especially regarding transportation and industrial processes. Knowledge gained from combustion will be crucial for the future, with diagnostics, chemistry, fluid mechanics, numerical simulation, as well as process design, optimization, and control. My wish list includes cooperation beyond the technical disciplines and communication to build public trust in our science.
I remember very well my first combustion symposium. I believe it was in 1996 at CU Boulder. And I remember my first session chair, it was Mel Rockmore. And I think he knew I was nervous. And so he said an encouraging thing to me as I was walking up to the mic, and he gave me a quiet, encouraging note as I was walking off the stage. And that was my introduction to the Combustion Symposium. It's been just such a wonderful family of people from around the United States, around the world that I've got to know, that I've got to learn so much from, that I've had enjoyable times together with, whether it's trail running or eating out together. So I just wanted to wish our community the very best and another 70 years.
On the occasion of the 70th anniversary of the Combustion Institute, Chung King Law would like to share a memorable event in his association with the Combustion Institute, particularly as a past president. As some of you may remember, in the early days, the papers and the proceedings were not included in the Science Citation Index, known as SCI, published by the Institute for Scientific Information, or ISI. This did not bother us until the early 1990s, when indexing and citation rapidly became important in the evaluation of the significance of research of individuals, as this would directly impact funding, promotion, and in a sense, one's professional stature. In short, without citation, the professional significance of the Combustion Symposium would assume a completely different character. Sensing this danger, I was delegated by the Institute to ask the ISI to include the symposium proceedings in its index. This, in fact, led to a major effort, with a substantial number of colleagues tediously compiling the citation statistics of the proceedings papers through the years. I personally made several trips to the agency's headquarters in Philadelphia to talk with their senior managers. Finally, the ISI agreed to our request before the 28th symposium. The happiness, however, did not last long, as the agency then decided to launch a separate citation index, only for papers presented at conferences, and wanted to lump our papers in that index. This, of course, would totally undo what we had accomplished, basically back to square one. Extensive discussions with them led to nowhere, with the disappointment compounded by their arrogance. Out of desperation, I solicited the service of a good family friend and a well-known lawyer, Mr. Bruce Cassidy of Philadelphia, to sue the agency for breaking their agreement. Discussions again were fruitless, leading to a final meeting in their Philadelphia office the day before the court hearing. I remember vividly that Mr. Cassidy and I were waiting in a room, while the agency's leaders discussed in a neighboring room with their lawyers who came down from New York. The suspense was finally broken as we were asked to join them in their room. We were then told that, apparently, advised by their lawyers, they agreed to our demand. This must rank as one of the most satisfying activities in my career associated with the Institute.
I'm very excited that we are gathering again in Milano. I have a lot of my good memories from the past symposium. My most unforgettable memory goes back to the 34th Symposium in Warsaw, Poland. Before I step onto the podium for my plenary lecture, Professor Peter Glab talked to me. He said, "Fei, if you deliver a great lecture, people will remember you only for 3 minutes. But if you fail, people will remember you for the rest of their lives." These words encouraged me to give a good talk. The other symposium I can't forget is the 38th Symposium in Adelaide. It was the first ever virtual symposium because of COVID. Kim Liu and I were the program to chair. I still remember we flew to the Adelaide to check the venue and visit the beautiful vineyard for the excursion. I also remember the hard work we have done online in making the final decision and the program. Although it was a pity that most of us didn't attend the symposium in person, I still believe it was a very successful symposium, thanks to the joint effort of the symposium, of the Combustion Institute, and the local organizer, Bashan Delay. Last, I would thank the Combustion Institute for being the supporter of the Chinese combustion community over the past decades. We thank the Combustion Symposium for offering us a platform to learn, to communicate, and to collaborate. We sincerely hope that one day we can host our international symposium in China again.
For me, the Combustion Institute has, you could say, been a backbone throughout my whole career in combustion science. I recall the very first summer I started as a PhD student. I, of course, didn't attend the Combustion Symposium, but the rest of the group attended, and I was all alone in the office that very first summer, a few weeks, and that started my awareness of how important the Combustion Institute, and especially the International Symposium of Combustion that we attend as we try every second year. My first symposium was the symposium in Edinburgh, and that was a great experience of networking, getting friends who then were PhD students at the time, who are still colleagues in the community, who I appreciate very, very much.
My career and interest in combustion started back in '91, where I got a job with Asad Masri and Bob Bilger on a topic of chemical inhibition of flames. And from there on, I started my PhD, and I attended my first symposium in '92, which was the Sydney Symposium. Since then, I've attended every symposium except for one. I had the privilege to organize the Adelaide symposium, which due to COVID, nobody turned up except of me, but later on to become the program co-chair here for this particular symposium. I feel this community is a thriving community. I like being part of it. And at the time when I started my career, I did not know how important combustion is going to be in terms of research and development into the future. Today, I truly believe that combustion is key to sustainability, and I'm lucky to be able to do some contributions out of it.
My first symposium was the 25th in 1994 in Irvine, California. So it's been 30 years since my first symposium. The Combustion Symposium has been a special and wonderful experience for me every time throughout my career. And that doesn't change at all. Last weekend, I happened to find a lovely picture of my colleagues from Tohoku at the 25th Symposium. So I'd like to share it with you. Can you recognize three gentlemen? From the left, my mentor, Professor Takashi Nioka. My respected senior, Professor Hideaki Kobayashi. And Professor Iguan Ju, at the time at Tohoku University. Now he is a professor at Princeton University. Congratulations, Combustion Institute, for its 70th anniversary.
Congratulations on the 70-year anniversary of the Combustion Institute.
Happy birthday to the Combustion Symposium, the Combustion Institute on its 70 years.
Congratulations, CI's 70th anniversary.
Happy birthday to the Combustion Institute.